about 4 years ago, I went on a trip to Ecuador. And I went there to surf a bit, and I also went there to check out some schools in the Andes mountain region that Free the Children was building, and just start kind of getting more involved in their organization and potentially raising them some funds. And I learned about this word that we don't have in our language. But I think that we did have it in our language at one time, and I'm really passionate about bringing it back. And the word is called minga. And what minga means is when a community drops everything they're doing to get together to accomplish something much larger than themselves. And it just makes sense, doesn't it? You know, if something needs to get done, everyone just drops it, gets together, accomplishes it, and moves on, instead of this fragmented approach that we have in our society today. Skip ahead 4 years, I go back to Ecuador. And during that 4 years, I kind of forgot that term. I mean, I started Change Heroes, I got busy, and when I got back to Ecuador on this trip, I was reminded of the minga. And actually, before I get into it, does everyone have their phones on them? If you have your phone, you're allowed to be texting and Twittering and Instagramming. There's no Tindering during this talk. Okay? No like setting your settings to like within 50 feet. At Wanderlust. Likes yoga. But feel free to be very social. So this, on our last trip to Ecuador about maybe a month, 2 months ago, this is the first minga that we saw. This is 14 women getting together to build a community center where they can do their artisan work, because they make these little purses. Jill probably has her purse on her. Mickey, do you have your purse on you? They make it out of recycled materials, and there it is. See that little purse there? So that purse is made out of recycled chip bags that all of their sons and daughters pick up all these chip bags, they weave them into these little purses, they make bracelets, a lot like this one that we were all given, and then they sell them at the local market. And I was so inspired by this woman. This is a woman named Irene. She's got 3 kids, another on the way. She's 28. And she was in there, you know, just getting her hands dirty, pulling nails, stripping forms. So I decided to jump in as well. And this is where it's really evident that I own a tech company and not a construction company. It's like this, like, look at this form. Like, and these women had been working all day. I worked for about 10 minutes, my hands were bleeding. If I was really embarrassed, I was like, did you get the shot? Good. So, anyways, this is the community center, and what we're really passionate about at Change Heroes are these things: schoolhouses. This is one of the schoolhouses that Free the Children built here, and it's very different than a lot of the schoolhouses that Free the Children has built, or no, that were built before Free the Children got there. This is the Amazon region. So imagine how much it rains in the Amazon region. Tons, all the time, every day. And the schoolhouses that existed before these schoolhouses started getting built were typically built with stick walls and a thin tin roof. You can imagine if it's like Amazonian rain on a thin tin roof. If it's raining hard, the kids can't hear the teachers, can't go to school. The floors are made of dirt, so if it was too heavy of a rain, wash the floors out, kids can't go to school. If it's dry and there's too much wind, the walls are made of sticks, so that it gets too dusty, kids can't go to school. These schools, on the other hand, have a double insulated roof, so no matter how hard it rains, the kids can hear the teachers. They're raised up 3 feet from the ground, so they're immune to partial flooding. And they're obviously beautiful inside and create an environment that kids really want to come and learn in and the teachers want to come and teach in. So I started getting obsessed with funding schoolhouses like this. This costs typically about $10,000. $10,000 is the rough range of how much it costs to build a schoolhouse with Free the Children amongst their 8 developing countries that they work in. Okay? So I started getting obsessed with how to fund one of these schoolhouses that will educate, inspire, and impact roughly 1,000 kids over the next 20 years. And when I first started getting obsessed with funding these schoolhouses, I thought, okay, how can I raise $10,000 in a really, really short amount of time? Not because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna say it's because I'm really efficient, wanting to be really efficient. And I started looking at crowdfunding. We've all heard of crowdfunding? Yeah, you know, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, CrowdRise, they're amazing, great sites. And I looked at those and I was like, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll just get a whole bunch of my friends, you know, give 20 bucks a piece, and we'll fund a schoolhouse, easy. Did some quick math. Anybody know how many $20 bills you have to get to raise $10,000? 500. I would have to get 500 people to give to the campaign that I wanted to set up to raise $10,000. I was like, that's not efficient. That'd be like herding cats. I don't know 500 people. let alone 500 people that would want to give me $500. So I started looking at this crowdfunding spaces, and it's kind of dependent on virality. It's dependent on something going, creating this amazing campaign, this big success story to be able to fund a schoolhouse. And so after hacking a lot of numbers, doing a bunch of different research and experiments, I came up with this equation that I believe will work in every age, race, gender, and geographic sector in the developed world. And it goes like this. 33 people give $3.33 a day for 3 months equals $10,000. Now, what really matters in fundraising is personalization. If I'm standing here in front of, if I was talking to Karina, I was like, Karina, I want to build a schoolhouse in Kenya.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to too.
I know.
How can I help?
See, we didn't plan this. We did promise. And I was like, you can help by giving $3.33 a day for 3 months.
Oh my God, that's the price of my latte.
Crazy.
Awesome.
And face-to-face personalization is the best way to fundraise, but it's not scalable. So I wanted to find a way that's scaling personalization, scaling this one-to-one ask of fundraising. And so without ruining this prize, I'm just going to show you exactly how our pages work now, and you'll be able to see how we've scaled personalization.
Hey guys, I'm super excited to send this video out and have you involved in this incredible project. My friend Taylor will come on next and explain what it is that we're doing, how we're going to do it, and how you can help out. So thanks for watching, and come join our team.
Here's how it works. You, me, and about 30 other caring friends all get together and we give our pocket change. You know, the change that you have in your pocket at the end of the day, you usually have a couple bucks and some coins. Well, when 33 people give $3.33 a day for 3 months, that adds up to $10,000. That $10,000 will build an entire schoolhouse with cinder block walls, big bright windows, wood benches, and chalkboards that will educate approximately 1,000 children. All from a bunch of friends giving some pocket change. And here's what your school is going to look like.
Hi, this is Taylor from Change Heroes, and thank you for signing up. I wanted to take one quick minute to show you exactly what you are doing with this Change Heroes campaign. Behind me is a schoolhouse that looks exactly like the one that you are about to build. It holds 50 kids per year for an average length of 20 years. So what you're doing with the cost of a cup of coffee every day for 3 months and getting your friends to do the same is going to educate and empower roughly 1,000 kids. So a massive thank you in advance, and good luck in your campaign.
All you and your friends need to do is sign up and free the children who have already built over 650 schoolrooms all over the world. Will take care of everything. Local workers will build it with all local materials, and fully trained teachers will teach in it. Their salaries are paid for by the local government, just like here in North America, so your school is fully sustainable. Free the Children has the top rating on Charity Navigator, and the best part about this is that you're actually going to see your school that you and your friends help build when it's completed. You're even going to get your own community website from the village receiving your school, where you'll be able to see student profiles, photos, and stories from the community on the ground. We're sending you a very stylish certificate that you can put up at your home or office, and some cool Facebook cover photos to show your friends what you just did with the cost of a cup of coffee a day for 90 days. You get a tax receipt, and to make things easy, your credit card is charged just once a month for 3 months and never again. And what is 3 months anyway? I mean, if you live till you're 83, you will have lived over 1,000 months. And all it takes is a cappuccino a day for 3 months out of your whole 1,000 month life to educate roughly 1,000 children, which I think is a massive deal. And because this is such a big deal, we're bringing a film crew to make a documentary of these schools to show the world what 33 friends can get together to do with just the cost of a cup of coffee a day. And of course, you'll be one of the first people to get a copy of the documentary, and your name will even be in the credits as one of the heroes that helped make this happen. Well, as you can see, I'm really excited about this, and I hope you're just as excited. And that's why we made it a dollar amount that we felt that anyone could feel comfortable with. I mean, it's the same price as a cup of coffee, or a slice of pizza, or parking downtown for 2 hours. And if that's a bit too much, we even threw in an option of half of that, which is $1.67 a day, spread over 6 months instead, if that feels more comfortable. Whatever feels right to you. The site that you're on right now is a secure site, and all you need to do is take 60 seconds to fill in your credit card information right there. It literally takes less than a minute to do, and you guys will have just built a school for 1,000 deserving boys and girls. So thank you in advance from me, from Free the Children, from your mom who's going to be ecstatically proud of you, and from all of those kids who who you are empowering with the priceless gift of education. Thank you.
Thanks. So I'm going to nerd out a little bit here and say that Karen, she raised a little bit more. She raised $10,500 of her $10,000 goal. She had 47 people give. These are the options that we put at the top: coffee a day, $3.33 a day, or a tea a day for 6 months, $1.67 a day, or people can put in, their choice. What we find is that 90% of the people that give to these campaigns give the $3.33 a day, which is fantastic. So it's not just Karen that can raise $10,000. This is Ruby and Flynn. Ruby is 4 years old. Flynn is 9. They raised $10,000 in 17 days, which I thought was pretty cool. Serena Kalita is a really good friend of mine. She ended up raising $14,000. Caitlin Brum is 11 years old, who raised $12,000. Rianne Dirksen, this is one of my favorite stories. She was 23, full-time university student, reached out to her friends, raised $10,000, called me up, and she's like, Taylor, how am I supposed to go back to school or the typical career path that I was on after I've just realized that I can raise 10 grand in 2 weeks and impact 1,000 people? I was like, I don't know, good luck with that. I was like, that's what this is all about, Rianne. And she's like, I really want to come and work for Change Heroes. And I was like, that's great. We're a scrappy startup. We don't have any cash for extra positions. She said, I don't care. I'm going to move over there and work for you for free. So she moved from Victoria to Vancouver, started working for us for free, became indispensable. We hired her 2 months later because she's amazing. And it's one of my favorite stories because it kind of comes full circle, because on that last trip to Ecuador, we brought Rianne, and we got to introduce her to a bunch of the kids that she empowered through her campaign. To date, we have now funded, this was made up the other day, so it's higher now, it's over 1.4, but it's raised over $1.4 million, funding about 140 projects all over the world. We've received about 5,000 people have given $3.33 a day for 3 months from over 40 countries, launched campaigns from all 6 inhabited continents. And the thing that I'm the most excited about is that in the background from this, we've been testing it on libraries and water projects and girls' scholarships and anti-sex trafficking work in Cambodia, and it keeps working across every single platform. So even though our outward appearance is all about schools, we've been testing it to build a white label version so that almost any nonprofit can kind of plug in and use this methodology to raise a significant amount of funds. Now, this is something I would love to show you right now. I'm gonna show you one more video. This is what we filmed. It literally just finished. It's a film called Minga, and we filmed it in the Amazon, like I said, maybe 2 months ago. And you are amongst the first people to see it, so I hope you like it.
La tradición de la minga siempre se hace toda la vida. Siempre en las comunidades, siempre se hacen las mingas para cualquier trabajo. Entonces invitamos que la comunidad participe, que todos sean beneficiados. Pero mejor es que siempre nosotros hemos realizado en comunidad minga.
The Amazon rainforest spans over 1 billion acres and has the greatest collection of plants and animal species on the planet. It's the lungs of the earth. In Ecuador, this deep jungle occupies over half the country. It's home to hundreds of indigenous groups, endless amounts of people living in harmony with their environment, just as their ancestors have for thousands of years. However, it's these isolated communities that face the greatest challenge accessing basic needs. They have dirty water that makes them sick. The village has barely any access to healthcare. The food supply is totally unsustainable. There's no way for women to make a solid living, and the schools are either falling down or non-existent. Just like the Minga philosophy, at Change Heroes, we believe in partnering with already existing organizations to empower change where it's needed most. And by doing so, transform communities all over the world. Right now, we're headed deep into the jungle to the province of Napo. Our implementation partner there, Free the Children, has been working in other parts of Ecuador for the last 15 years. And now, they're ready to bring clean water projects here for every family, build healthcare clinics, install alternative income programs for women, and build schools, lots of schools. All they need is the funding to get them going.
We work with the most vulnerable, marginalized communities in some of the most remote locations here in the Amazon region. We work with community leaders, with families, with students to ensure that through our Adopt a Village program, we make everything as sustainable as possible with environmental integrity, not only to provide the tools and the skills that they need to empower their own lives, but at the same time to make a difference in their communities and in the region as a whole.
It's simple. You get 33 friends to give $3.33 a day for 3 months. That adds up to $10,000. This isn't just slapping up a schoolhouse or digging a well. This is a completely sustainable and holistic approach that will literally change everything.
I like watching that. Wow. So, you guys, this is going to diverge from, I don't know, I've never said this at a talk before, but what this is all about is realizing that we have such crazy fucking immense power at our fingertips. The technology that we have available to us today is like, obviously, like it's never been before. It's at the point where we have the ability to make a massive, massive impact in the world, more so than has ever been done with any generation before us. If just this room, I don't know how many people are in this room, maybe 50 or so, if just this room did these campaigns, think about it. If just this room did these campaigns, that would raise $500,000. If 100 people did campaigns, that's $1 million. 1,000 people, that's $10 million. 10,000 people, half the amount of people that go to a Canucks game, that would raise $100 million. Do you know how much the United States government gives away in foreign education aid every year? $98 million. Half of the people that go to a fucking Canucks game could give away more than the entire United States government in education aid, and they could do it in a fucking month. Do you get it? So, I never said that. I know where I'm going from there, but what I wanted to say is where it starts is one person. It starts with one minga. It starts with one person getting their community together to give $3.33 a day, the cost of a cup of coffee, for 3 months. That's where it starts. You know what? It ripples from there. As soon as one person does it, as soon as one person does a campaign, one of their friends that gave their campaign, they do it too. And then as soon as they do a campaign, someone from their campaign does another campaign, and it ripples down, and ripples down, and ripples down. So we've been working like our balls off for the last 2 years, doing as much as we can, innovating the software. It's finally at the point where it can actually scale, where it can actually have 10,000, 100,000 people do these campaigns, where you could build 100 schools in Kenya like that. You could do 200 water projects in Guatemala like that. This could be happening like month after month after month, significant change. These are real people. These are real, legitimate people that we have the ability to partner with to make a massive difference. And it's not like we're just like Westerner syndrome where you like run in and slap up a school and be like, there, and then run away. This approach is a 5-part holistic approach that has agriculture, medical services, water and sanitation, schoolhouses, and women's empowerment initiatives. So it's a fully sustainable approach. Free the Children stays in these villages for roughly 7 years before extracting themselves, making sure that it's all sustainable, keeping tabs on the villages, making sure the schools are full of kids, making sure everything's working as it should. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to have a heart attack. So, I would really like to start a minga with every single person in this room, going to be honest. And whether you start a minga, whether you share one of those videos, whether you give to one of the campaigns, whether you just say, you know what, this minga thing's kind of cool and I think we should bring it back, do whatever you want to do, but just do something. Thank you. Yeah.